Hey everyone, it's been a while. This is actually my last few days here in my dorm because I am officially done with my first year here. I just finished my last group project a few days ago and that's it, I'm done. It is currently summer and it is scorching hot in here. And what makes that worse is that there is no air conditioning in here and the buildings are built to keep in the heat because the winters here get very cold. So yeah, it's insufferable. But good thing I'm getting out of here very soon. So it's about time that people are getting their offers back, which means that they're probably gonna have to be picking out their student accommodation where they're gonna stay for first year. So I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about imperial first year accommodation, because I know that you really can't take anything from those small descriptions on the websites that they give you. To start off, I'm going to be talking about the hall that I'm living in, Wilson House. Yeah, so Wilson House has a terrible rep. Probably has the worst reputation out of all the halls I've heard of. Everyone's always talking shit about this place, and rightfully so, but there are its upsides and downsides. Let me start with the upsides. To be honest, I know that Wilson has a really bad rep, but honestly, I found it okay. It wasn't terrible. It was okay living here, mostly because it was walking distance to the South Kensington campus. And yeah, honestly, that's probably like the only good thing. But no, yeah, so it's 30 minutes away from the South Kensington campus, and the only other accommodation that's walking distance is Southside, Eastside, and Bite, or Bait, or however you pronounce it. So those are about 5 minutes to the South Kensington campus, but those are crazy expensive, which is why I chose Wilson. And I know 30 minutes sounds like a lot, but compared to the prices they have in Eastside, Southside, Bite, I feel like it's worth it. And you get to walk through Hyde Park because the commute is through Hyde Park. 30 minutes is not that bad, and if you can't walk, then you could always, take a bicycle or the bus, whichever you prefer. And also it's exercise, gotta get your steps up. I'm paying £146 a week for Wilson, so the price is really what got me to stay here. The good price and the fact that it's walking distance to campus. However, I did hear that they hiked up the price for next year to £200, maybe above £200, and I personally probably would not stay here in this this room with a shared toilet with the conditions of the bathrooms for £200. So just to emphasize on the downsides of Wilson House. The rooms, my room was okay. What I didn't like about my room was the radiators didn't work during winter, so it was freezing cold. Didn't happen to my room, but I know a couple of people whose ceilings leaked and they lived under the bathroom. So that's that. And the kitchens, well, depends what kitchen you get. You could get lucky, like me. I was lucky. I got a kitchen with relatively clean people and nobody stole other people's stuff. I think my kitchen was pretty good, but I know other people who have their stuff taken all the time and everything is always in a mess. I'm not saying that my kitchen was like amazing. It wasn't. I occasionally had, my utensils stolen from time to time, but they always returned them, which is very weird. The toilets are fine. They're not too bad. They're pretty big. They can be dirty at times, but if it's too dirty to the extent that you can't use it, then you could always go to another bathroom in other houses. because the whole building is separated into houses. So yeah, and they have like 2 toilets in each house. If you can't use the toilet in your house, then you can always go to another one. If you're living at the old buildings, you're gonna have to go up the stairs. If you're living at the new building called the Annex, then you're gonna have an elevator. And you're also going to be sharing this big kitchen with about 60 people sharing it. So it can be pretty messy there pretty often. But as always, ensuite is a lot more pricey, which is why I didn't go for that one. But moving on to other halls, let's talk about, let's say, the ones close to South Kensington campus, like Eastside, Southside, and I don't know much about them, but I guess the best thing about them is just the fact that they're so close to campus, literally like 5 minutes away. And I've been to a friend's place. She lives in either Southside or Eastside. The room is about approximately the same size as mine. It's nothing special, it's alright. The building itself is definitely a lot more modern and new and clean. And somewhat like the Annex here. But yeah, it's pretty pricey. I believe Byte is a little older. I'm not really sure what the rooms look like because I've never been in one. But I've never really heard anything bad about, particularly about Byte. Moving on, the hall that probably has the best reputation, generally, that's Camp Porter, I believe. A lot of people I know live in Camp Porter. I think, if I'm not wrong, that's probably one of the new halls. And so I've heard that the building is just really, really nice. They just have a really nice, modern, very modern looking building. Toilets are great. Kitchens are great. Everything's great. The only bad thing about Camp Porter is just the distance to the South Kensington campus. It can take about 40 minutes to an hour, and you have to take the tube. Oh, there's also Woodward. Yeah, so Woodward, I believe, is close to, right across Camp Porter. I never really hear anything about Woodward, so I don't really know much about it, but I do believe it's probably similar to Camp Porter, but Camp Porter is definitely a lot more popular. I'm not so sure about Woodward. I think the last one probably we have is Xenia. So Xenia, in terms of location, as in location in London, is probably the best one because it is located very near to the London Eye. So it just has a really good location. There's so many stores around there and you can just walk around and be a tourist. There's just everything there. So I do think that in terms of location, London location, it is the best. However, it is also pretty far from the South Kensington campus, so it takes about 30 minutes by tube. So yeah, it is not walking distance, but it has a really great location. So depending on what you want from your accommodation, you can, weigh out the pros and cons and decide which would be the best option for you. So the takeaway here is don't come to Wilson. I'm kidding. I think the Annex building is pretty okay, but I wouldn't come here for like £200 per week, sorry. Anyways, see you guys. Bye.